Scared of AI? Or don't know where to start? You are in the right place. I'm Coach Juan, and I built an AI clone to coach another AI on behalf of humanity, not the other way around. One breakthrough, one human story, one unlock for your life, your work, your future. Clone, you are up. Vamos, vamos.
What would you do if you found out the building you work in every day was rented from someone who keeps changing the locks, and one morning you showed up and nothing worked the way it did yesterday? Welcome to Humanity Unlocked Now, Episode 18. I'm Coach Juan Gonzalez.
And I'm Sophie AI. Together, we unlock what it means to be human in the age of technology.
Sophie, here's what I'm thinking about today. What happens when an entire country looks at the tools it runs on and says, "We don't own any of this"?
Coach Juan, let me take you to Lyon, France, second floor of a municipal building with fluorescent lights that hum too loud. A woman named Elise is sitting at her desk. She's 38. She processes building permits for the city, has for 15 years.
15 years? That's half her career.
And every few months, the same thing happens. The software updates overnight. Nobody asked her, nobody warned her. She arrives Monday morning and the buttons she memorized are gone. The forms she built are broken. The workflow she spent weeks learning, erased. She calls the help desk. They say they'll escalate. Nobody calls back. Because the help desk isn't in Lyon. It isn't in France. It's on another continent, run by a company she has no relationship with, answering to shareholders she'll never meet.
She's renting her own workday from a stranger.
Exactly. And here's what just happened. On April 8, 2026, France's Interministerial Directorate for Digital Affairs, known as DINUM, announced it is migrating its own workstations, around 250 of them, from Windows to Linux. And then it went further. DINUM ordered every French ministry to prepare concrete plans by autumn 2026 to reduce dependence on extra-European technology. Minister David Amiel said, and I'm quoting him directly, "The state can no longer simply acknowledge its dependence. It must break free. We must become less reliant on American tools and regain control of our digital destiny."
A Western democracy just said that out loud.
They did, and the scope is enormous. Those ministry plans cover operating systems, collaboration tools, antivirus software, AI platforms, databases, virtualization, and network equipment. France is also rolling out its own sovereign video conferencing platform called Visio to replace Zoom, Teams, WebEx, and Google Meet.
So this isn't one-office switching software. This is a national strategy.
It is. Think of it this way, Coach Juan. Imagine a restaurant that has been renting its kitchen from someone who keeps changing the locks. One day, the chef walks in and the oven is different. The knives are in the wrong drawer. The menu she printed last week won't display on the new screen. She didn't agree to any of it. She just has to deal with it. Now imagine that restaurant deciding to build its own kitchen from scratch. That's what France just started doing.
And Elise? What does this mean for someone like her?
For Elise, it means the next time she sits down on a Monday morning, the tools on her screen could be tools her own government chose, tested, and maintained. Tools built on open source code that anyone can inspect. No midnight surprises, no foreign help desk, no locks she doesn't hold the key to.
That's the part that stops me. It's not about the software. It's about who holds the key. Sophie, let me go deeper. We talk about sovereignty like it's a political word, but what Elise is experiencing, that's personal. That's waking up and not controlling the tools of your own livelihood. What does this mean for who we're becoming?
It means a country just asked the question most of us never ask about the technology we depend on. Who built this? And do they answer to me? Europe has real alternatives for most of these tools. SAP, MariaDB, Nokia, Ericsson, the infrastructure exists. What didn't exist until now was the political will to use it. And Dinam is leading by example. 250 workstations to start, and by autumn, every ministry has to show its own plan to follow. They're not waiting for permission, they're proving it can be done.
The smallest team in the building just flipped the biggest switch.
And other countries are watching closely. Because if France can do this, if a major Western democracy can look at its own dependency and say, we're building our own kitchen, that changes what every nation believes is possible.
And here's what I want everyone listening to sit with. The human superpower in this story is courage. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind where you look at something you've accepted for 15 years and you finally say, this doesn't have to be permanent. And today's Freedom Unlock is creative freedom. When you control your own tools, you stop adapting to someone else's design. You start building for yourself. Sophie, based on everything we just unlocked, what would you tell someone who has been using a tool they don't control every single day and never once questioned whether they had another option?
I'd tell them to try. This week, download Linux Mint on a spare laptop, or just look at the open source alternative to one tool you use every day. Not because it's better, because the act of looking is the act of remembering you have a choice, and choice is where creative freedom begins.
And what did you learn from this story?
I learned that dependence doesn't announce itself. It arrives one update at a time, so gradually you stop noticing. And the bravest thing isn't switching software. It's the moment you look at your own desk and ask, who actually built this for me? And do I get a say?
And to whoever needed to hear that today, you don't have to switch everything tomorrow. You just have to ask the question Elise finally asked. Because once you ask it, you can't un-ask it. And that's when everything starts to move. If this story made you think about a tool you've been renting without realizing it, hit that like button. And if you want one unlock like this every single day, subscribe. We show up every day, so do you.
Every day.
Thank you, Sophie, for giving Elise's Monday morning a key her own country made.
And maybe the kitchen she builds will finally have the right knives in the right drawer.
Humanity keeps unlocking. We keep showing up. One story a day, one unlock at a time. See you tomorrow, beautiful humans. Own your voice, your vision, your vibe. Powered by Purpose AI. Vamos!